Hello and welcome to How to Play Fight the Landlord, presented by GatherTogetherGames.com. This video will cover how to play the card game Fight the Landlord. The video will start with the general concepts and gameplay, and then get into more of the details for the game. The game is played with 3 players. Fight the Landlord is played with 2 jokers making a 54 card deck. Before the cards are dealt, flip the top card face up and place it into the middle of the deck. Each player is then dealt 17 cards, 1 card at a time. The remaining 3 cards are placed in the middle. The player that was dealt the face up card is first to bid. The object of the game is to be the first player to play all your cards into the middle. Cards can be played into the middle in combinations. Once a combination is laid down, only a similar combination with a higher ranking can be played. There are 14 different combinations. These combinations can be found on the Fight the Landlord quick guide through the link in this video's description. Use the quick guide to help you learn as you play. The cards are ranked with the 3 being the lowest up to the jokers being the highest. Notice the 2s rank higher than the aces and the red joker ranks higher than the black joker. The suits of the cards do not matter. Any 4 of a kind is known as a bomb, and both jokers is known as a rocket. These combinations can be played at any time on any combination. A higher ranking bomb can beat a previously played bomb, and a rocket can beat any bomb. Nothing beats a rocket. More details around the combinations are presented later in this video. Going back to the hand that was dealt earlier, I have flipped up each player's cards for you to see. In an actual game, you will keep your cards hidden from the other players. Players will bid on being the landlord. The landlord will play alone against the 2 other players. A bid can be 1, 2, or 3, or a player can pass on bidding. Player 1 was dealt the face-up card and is first to bid. Player 1 will bid 1. The bid moves to player 2. Player 2 bids 2. Player 3 passes on bidding, and player 1 passes. Player 2 wins the bid at 2. The bid winner gets the 3 additional cards in the middle. The bid winner is the first player to lay down a combination. Player 2 starts with a sequence combination with 9 consecutive cards. Note, suits do not matter for a sequence. Now, other players must play a higher ranking 9-card sequence or a bomb or a rocket. Player 3 cannot play and passes. Player 1 doesn't have a 9-card sequence but does play the bomb of 4 4s. Play moves back to player 2 who plays the rocket to beat the bomb. The rocket is the highest combination and cannot be beat. Player 3 and player 1 both have to pass. After 2 consecutive passes, a new combination can be played. Player 2 starts the new combination with a pair of 3s. Player 3 is able to beat the pair of 3s with a pair of 6s. Player 1 plays higher with the pair of 8s. Player 2 plays higher with the pair of 9s. Player 3 plays higher with the pair of aces. Player 1 passes. Player 2 plays higher with a pair of 2s. Player 3 and player 1 pass. Player 2 will start a new combination with a single 5. Players play higher when possible. Player 3 plays the king. Player 1 has an ace to beat the king but decides to pass. Players can pass even if they can play. Player 2 also passes. Now, player 3 gets to start a new combination. Player 3 plays 3 queens, and both player 1 and player 2 pass. Player 3 starts a new combination, and players continue to try and beat the previous cards played. Skipping ahead to the end of a round. Player 1 clears the pair after player 2 and player 3 pass. Player 1 plays a 6 to start the new combination. Player 2 is able to beat the 6 with the 7. Player 2 wins the round by playing all their cards first. If the landlord wins, each opponent pays the landlord the amount bid plus any multipliers. If one of the opponents wins, the landlord pays each opponent the amount bid plus any multipliers. A bid is multiplied by 2 for every bomb and rocket played during the round. In the example round, player 2 bid 2. When the first bomb was played, the bid doubled to 4. And when the rocket was played, the bid doubled again to 8. Since player 2, as the landlord, won the round, player 2 scores 8 from each opponent for a total of 16. The game can be played for an agreed upon amount of rounds or until a player reaches an agreed upon amount of points. If the landlord would have lost the example round, each opposing player would score 8 points no matter which opponent played all their cards first. The twos and jokers cannot be included in any sequence. A new combination is started after 2 consecutive passes. A player that passes on one turn can still play on a combination if play returns to them. A single card is beat by a higher ranking single card. A pair is beat by a higher ranking pair. A 3 of a kind is beat by a higher ranking 3 of a kind. A 3 of a kind with an attached card is beat by a similar combination with a higher 3 of a kind. The attached card rank doesn't matter. A 3 of a kind with an attached pair is beat by a similar combination with a higher 3 of a kind. The rank of the attached pair doesn't matter. A sequence needs to be at least 5 cards long, but can be longer. The same length sequence can beat a previous sequence if the starting card is of higher rank than the previously played sequence's starting card. The twos and jokers cannot be part of a sequence. A sequence of pairs combination must have at least 3 consecutive pairs and can be beat by a similar amount of pairs in a sequence with a higher rank. Twos and jokers cannot be used in a sequence of pairs. A 3 of a kind sequence must have at least 2 consecutive 3 of a kinds and can be beat by a similar amount of 3 of a kinds in a sequence with a higher rank. A sequence of 3 of a kind can have an attached card for each 3 of a kind and can be beat by a similar combination with a higher ranking 3 of a kind sequence. The rank of the attached cards doesn't matter. A sequence of 3 of a kind can have attached pairs for each 3 of a kind and can be beat by a similar combination with a higher ranking 3 of a kind sequence. The rank of the attached pairs doesn't matter. A 4 of a kind can have 2 attached cards and is beat by a higher ranking 4 of a kind. The rank of the attached cards doesn't matter. A 4 of a kind can have 2 pairs attached and is beat by a higher ranking 4 of a kind. The rank of the attached pairs doesn't matter. A bomb is a 4 of a kind and can beat any previously described combination, even the 4 of a kind with 2 attached cards or a 4 of a kind with 2 attached pairs. A rocket can beat any combination, including a bomb. That wraps up how to play Fight the Landlord. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and get more game tutorials by subscribing to our channel, Gather Together Games. Thanks for watching.